Okay, again, I'm very happy that particularly the group discussions from the feedback that I get from a number of people and myself, having witnessed what you're doing, is very meaningful, is extremely constructive, and those seniors, I can see that you are really being helpful to the others. One thing, and then particularly the seniors, particularly who already engaged into more complicated topics, okay, you have the experience. Whereas those who are more the first time coming here, and so you may feel that, okay, I don't really understand anything. So this is one thing you can check with the seniors as to what's the experience like. And I remember, for example, say like the Wenla, since many years we have been attending the retreats and so forth, and then Sonamla they're attending retreats and so forth. So the Wenla, I'm not too sure, but Sonamla, they at first being so impatient. That they, like many years ago, and we have also Mr. Chung more calm. And Sonamla, so impatient, I'm not getting anything. Again, I have to say that, oh, you're getting something, right? And then he feels a little calm. Your question is so important, so good. Then he feels, okay, I don't understand that my question is important, but you are saying maybe it is. And then he calms. So this is how he persists through the last many years, like 10 years. Okay, now he's really calm. Okay, this is what is bound to happen. It is my personal experience also. It's not that Sonamla, it's me also, myself. When I first learned something, it's so difficult, and the thinking that it's not really meant for me and so forth. I did share my experience with you. So particularly those who are coming more new to this and this text, you won't believe. And you may, if you feel it's so complicated, we are not getting anything, the best thing is to check with the monks in the monastic universities who study for this like 10, 12 years. Tell them that we studied for 7 years, 7 days, I didn't get anything. They will ask, 7 years. You say, no, 7 days. Right? Okay, so don't worry. What I'm saying is that you have learned a great deal, and this is incredibly great training, which you have never been before. Right? Where a rigorous training in a brain, where your mind or the brain did not know what's really going on there. Right? Okay, so this is what is bound to happen. Don't worry. From your side, those of you who have health issues, you make sure that you take adequate rest. And others, no excuse, come. Okay. Reference number 37, page 17, reference number 39. Reference number 39, page 17. First, rejection in general. So now, the way this came from was reference number 38, which says, rejecting the reasons which support that the last moment of the mind does not connect to the sequential akin mind. Sequential akin mind means mind which is similar. Sequential, the following mind which is similar to the previous mind. This meaning. Sequential akin mind of the next life. The mind of the next life which is akin, which is similar to sequential meaning, the following mind with respect to this life's mind of the past life, which is similar in nature with this life's mind. Okay, so the opponents who reject rebirth, the reason that they come up with is that the mind. Okay, we have to again put them in the form of the what? Reasoning. Proper reasoning. What they say is that the mind, the last moment of the dying person's mind, as a topic, it does not continue. It doesn't give rise to the next moment of the mind because it is the dying person's mind. is the mind of the dying person. This is the reason that they give. Let me say this again. The mind of the, what did I say? The last moment of the dying person's mind as a topic, it does not connect to the next mind. It does not connect to the next mind because it is the mind of the dying person. Okay, so this is a syllogism that they use, saying that any dying person's mind will not connect to the next birth. Okay, first, it should have three modes. Say, I'm the one who advocate this, who reject rebirth. Then I produce this thesis. At least for me, it should the three modes should be fulfilled. For me, you accepting or following Acharya Dharmakirti, rejecting rejecting me or rejecting the opponents of the rebirth. So for you, it does not fulfill the three modes. But at least for me, who produced this syllogism or the reasoning, the three modes should fulfill. So for me, how? The last moment of the dying mind, what is it? What do you say, the topic?
The last moment of the dying person.
Okay, last moment of the dying person's mind. And then what is the first mode? The topic should fulfill the sign, which means that the last moment of the dying person's mind should be a dying person's mind. Yes, no? Okay, for you, yes, for me also, yes. Now the next part, what is the second mode? Whatever qualifies the sign should qualify the predicate, which means whatever is the dying person's mind, should be a mind which should not connect to the next mind. Should be a mind which should not connect to the next mind. Right? Okay. So for me, yes. For you? No. A dying person's mind will connect to the next mind. For you. So from your point of view, what is not fulfilled? Which of the three modes is not fulfilled? Second one. Second and the third. Because if the second is not fulfilled, automatically third is not fulfilled. So second and third not fulfilled. For me, second and third fulfilled. So now this is the syllogism or the reasoning. Now, okay, so this you have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind that when this, so I try to reject rebirth on the basis of this syllogism. So you have to say that this syllogism or this reasoning is not a good reasoning. It's not a valid reasoning because it doesn't fulfill the three modes. Which modes not fulfilled? Second and the third. Okay, keep this in mind. So with this in mind, stanza 47. Now Acharya Dharmakirti is saying, what contradiction exists for the last moment of the mind to connect to the next mind? So I say that whatever is the last moment of the mind will not connect to the next mind. I say this. And you said that no, this is not true. So you ask me, what reason? Sir, say for the last moment of the mind, for the last moment of the dying person's mind, for that to connect, to say it connects with the next birth, the next mind, what's the contradiction? What's the problem? What's the problem? This is how they ask question to me. What contradiction exists for the last moment of the mind to connect to the next mind? Next mind is the next life's mind. Opponent, now I'm saying this, opponent. Even for the last moment of an Arhat's mind, what reason is there for it not to connect to the next mind? Okay, this is you require a little bit of the knowledge of what is Arhat and so forth. Okay, so the opponents, what they do is that, what they say is that the Buddhist philosophers or the Buddhist system accepts Arhat. What is Arhat? What is Arhat? Raise hands. Bruce. Somebody who has achieved nirvana. Okay, somebody who has achieved nirvana. Now, we have to keep in mind that once you achieve nirvana, there are two kinds. Nirvana with remainder and nirvana without remainder. Okay, let's say that our body, the body that we have, the body that we have, it has so many drawbacks. It is prone to sickness, aging, and death. Do you agree with me? Okay, so this sickness, aging, and death, which this body embodies, is this body, which embodies these three categories: sickness, aging, death. This body, why it has the faults or the shortcomings, is because this is derived from the contaminated karma, right? Because this is derived from the contaminated karma. Because this is derived from the contaminated karma, so it has so many shortcomings, like sickness, aging, death, and so forth. Okay, now with this body which has so much of shortcomings, with this body and the mind, then you meditate, and then you exterminate the self-grasping ignorance. Let's say, today, you exterminate the self-grasping ignorance. The moment you exterminate self-grasping, the root of this suffering is cut. Right? You achieve nirvana. But what about your body? You achieve nirvana. You achieve nirvana, now you are arhat. What about your body? Your body is still the same, or your body has become divine body? It's the same body. Still you have to eat food. Still your body can go through pain. If you look at the stories of the arahats, some arahats, they went through, they passing away was some very pathetic ways of passing away. For example, say Angulmal, the one with the, there was one arhat, he passed away because of the beatings of the common people. Right? But his mind is free. What is not free was his body. Remnants of the body is left there. Remnants of the body, which was from the contaminated karma, still there. Mentally he was freed, but physically still he is there, trapped. So this is the nirvana with residue of the shortcomings, residue of samsara, the body. There was nirvana with residue. So the moment this arahat leaves the body, the moment, in other words, in simple terms, in the common vocabulary, we say when the moment the arahat dies or leaves the body or passes away, then the shortcomings are all left behind. Then that is known as the nirvana without remainder. You're getting it? Nirvana with remainder, nirvana without remainder. Okay, so now within Buddhist philosophy, we see that there are two versions. Say you are arhat now with the remains of the samsaric remains of the contaminated body. So when you die, what happens to your mind? Vaibhashika school and the Southanthic school, what they say is that when you die, your mind will disappear. Your mind will annihilate. So these two systems, their presentation contradicts a little bit with, really contradicts with the position of the higher Buddhist schools, Chittamatra, Southanthic, the Svatantra Madhyamika, and Prasangika Madhyamika. One. And also this morning what we discussed about how the atoms of the body, they have no beginning, they have no end. Likewise the mind, if it is different from the body, even that should have no beginning, no end. This is law of the nature. So now the Vaibhashikas say that the moment you die, this mind will annihilate, like the rainbow. This is what they say. Okay, this is one thing. Now the higher Buddhist schools will say that the mind of the arhat with remainder, this mind, when the arhat leaves the body, in other words, when the arhat dies, then the mind will continue, but will not continue in the form of a rebirth, because rebirth is the mind will continue as the mind of the arhat without remainder. It will continue as the mind, but not continue as a rebirth. Rebirth has nothing good in it. Rebirth means involuntary birth. Involuntary birth is known as rebirth. Involuntary birth and samsara is known as rebirth. Right? So therefore, since the arahats, they're already freed. Now the involuntariness, because of the self-grasping ignorance, already got rid of. So their mind continues to the next mind, but that is not rebirth. That is not an involuntary birth in samsara. And then some of you may want to ask, oh, then what does this mind do? All these things. If you want to study, this is a separate subject. Right? So if you do this, then we'll never finish this text. Okay, that is a very separate subject. Then what they do they stay like this? Or they follow the Bodhisattva path? Or eventually they become Buddha? What happens? Okay, if you're interested, you have to join the Nalanda Diploma course and Nalanda Master's course. Okay. So it says that then the opponents, instead of giving reasons, of course, they already gave the reason earlier. What reason they give? Because this mind, the last moment of the dying person's mind, it is the mind of a dying person. Mind of a dying person will never connect to the next mind. This is what the mind of a dying person, this is what they said. Now Acharya Dharmakirti asked the second question. Why this mind of a dying person, why this mind does not connect to the next birth? Why? What reasons is there? Okay, for the last, what contradiction exists for the last moment of the mind to connect to the next birth? Then the opponent, instead of giving the second reason, they give the example of the Buddhist version. Buddhist, the Arhats. Arhats, they don't connect their mind according to lower schools. According to low Buddhist schools. Okay, so they say that even from your point of view, Arhats, the last moment of the Arhat's mind will not connect to the next birth because that mind annihilates from your point of view, from the Buddhist point of view. Even for the last moment of an Arhat's mind, what reason is there for it not to connect to the next mind? You. The non-Buddhists, they challenge the Buddhists. It's the same. What you say of the Arhat, I apply this to the samsara. Right? Samsaric mind, last moment mind, does not connect to the next mind. Just as you say the Arhat's mind, when they die, they will not connect to the next mind. This is the same. Right? If you're able to give this answer, then I'll give my answer. This is what they say. You're getting it? Okay, now what is your answer then? For Acharya Dharmakirti. What answer? Okay, let's see. Acharya Dharmakirti, what he says. 48. Acharya Dharmakirti. Is it that you choose to follow a tenet system which you consider as not verified by valid cognition? So you are trying to give the reason from a tenet system, Buddhist tenet system, which you don't consider as valid tenet system. And still you are citing from there. Okay. Then the Acharya Dharmakirti pushes further. Then they say, if you assert that it is devoid of body, because say the last moment of the dying person's mind, last moment of the dying person's mind, then what happens? When the death happens, then the body becomes dead. The body becomes dead. And then because the mind is the derivative of the brain, according to them, mind is a derivative of the brain, and the brain dies, the mind will not continue. If this is your position, if you assert that it is devoid of body, particularly the brain, as its cause, the next mind's cause, this body disappears, the body dies. Why is the previous rejection not asserted here? Okay, previous, what did it say? What did it say? The last moment of the dying person's mind does not connect to the next moment of the mind because it is a dying person's mind. They said it. So this is the main syllogism. So there, why did you not say that the last moment of the dying person's mind, it doesn't connect to the next moment of the mind because the body, the main cause of that next moment of mind, the main cause which is the body, is missing at the time of death. The body is dead. Why did you not say this? Earlier reason is the dying person's mind. You just said it. Why don't you add this reason? Because the body is missing. Because the body is dead. Why did you not say this? Okay. Then what happens? If you said, okay, yes, the body is missing. The body died. So therefore the mind doesn't continue because the mind is the derivative of the brain or the body, right? When the body dies, mind disappears. Okay, this is the point. This is the point. So many of the people who don't believe in rebirth thinks that the mind is just a derivative of the brain. The moment the brain dies, the mind disappears. This is their belief. Which means that, okay, now we are going to a very important point. Extremely important point. Okay, from this, what we get the impression, the answer that the opponents give, we get the impression that the body or the brain is the determining factor for the mind. Do you get this impression? Because the body is dead, the mind will not continue. If this is the answer given, then the body is the determining factor for the next moment of the mind. Did you get this feeling? Okay, if you get this feeling, then this connects us to the next point. Page 18. Page 18, reference number 40. So, this connects us to a very important concept known as unique, indispensable cause. This connects us to the next important topic, which is unique, indispensable cause. Unique, indispensable cause. I think at one point when I was teaching this chapter, I think in Deer Park or somewhere, somebody suddenly said that the UIC. I said, what is UIC? He said that unique, indispensable cause. Right? Okay, so UIC, don't forget it. Unique, indispensable cause. Unique, indispensable cause. Now what the opponent, this is what we have to keep in mind. The essence of what all these discussions happened thus far is that the opponent's view is that the mind of the dying person does not connect to the next birth, next mind, because the body, which is a primary cause to give rise to the mind, is dead. The body is dead. Body is missing. The body is dead. So from this, we deduce that what they are saying is that body is the unique, what? Unique, indispensable cause. Okay, body is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind. If the body is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind, then that's true. The body is going to determine if the mind is going to be there or not. But the body is not there, the mind will not be there. Okay, that's fine. So now, Acharya Dharmakirti is going to explore whether or not the body or the brain is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind. This is what Acharya Dharmakirti is going to explore. You're getting it? Okay, next. Reference 40. Rejecting the body to be the unique body here, primarily the brain. Primarily the brain. Rejecting the body to be the unique, indispensable cause of the mind. This has two parts. One, rejection of the body to be the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the mind. Number two, rejecting the body to be the substantial cause of the mind. This will be explained later, stanza 53 and 62 onwards. Okay, so this connects us to the main topic, which is unique, indispensable cause. So for the unique, indispensable cause, we can think of the unique, indispensable cause in the context. Unique, indispensable cause in the form of cooperative cause. Unique, indispensable cause in the form of substantial cause. Cooperative cause and substantial cause. The question is, what is cooperative cause? What is substantial cause? This is the next question. Okay. Say I want to say I love to enjoy mangoes. I want fruits. I mean the mangoes. And then Geshe loves fruits. We'll plant we'll plant fruits. Then you plant apple seeds. And then what comes out? Fruits come out. And then Geshe, now your fruits are ready. No, that's not what I like. Right? But you said you like fruits. Yes, that's true. I like fruits. But what I like is I like mango. So why mangoes are not there? You planted fruits, right? But the mango is not there. Why? To plant mangoes, to plant apples, water is same or not? Hey, different water should be added. For the apples, mango, the water from Malaysia. For the mangoes, Malaysia, the water from Singapore. Water is same or different? Soil same or different? Sunlight same or different? They're all same. What's different? Only the seed. right? That seed is going to determine whether something is going to be apple, or something apple tree, or something is going to be mango tree. That seed is going to determine. That seed is known as substantial cause. Whereas all the other common causes between the apple tree and the mango tree, all the common causes, they are known as cooperative causes. So substantial cause and the cooperative causes. This we have to know. Now, what we are talking about the unique indispensable cause. This is so important. This is so important. Unique indispensable cause. In Tibetan, it is known as Dokje Gyukhebarje. Dokje Gyukhebarje. Dokje Gyukhebarje. Unique indispensable cause. Okay. And then if somebody happens to teach the same text, with some other translations, they may use another word, but make sure that you know the concept. If you know the concept, you'll be a good listener, you will immediately infer what the other person is talking about. Okay. So now what we need to do is that we need to know what is unique indispensable cause. Unique indispensable cause, which is going to be defined later. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what should be the criteria of a unique indispensable cause. For example, let's say a child goes to school. A child goes to school, and for example, the child goes to school, and then your friend comes, and your friend sees, the child is today not so willing to go to school. But then he or she has to go. He has to go to school. And your friend gives the chocolate to the child. And the child is really happy, excited to go to school, right? Because he got the chocolate. Okay, so now, and then the child studies well that day. So this chocolate, is it a cause for the child to study well? Hey, this chocolate given by your friend to the child, is it a cause for the child to study well that day? Yes, of course. Okay. Is this the cause for the child to become PhD? Later on, he or she will become PhD, right? If he or she does PhD. Is this a cause for the child to become PhD? Is this cause for the child to become the Nobel laureate in physics? This chocolate? No? Okay, so whether the chocolate is there or not, it did help. But okay, let's say that with apple, that's better. Okay, let's say you plant the apple seed, and then you put some water, and instead of this water, you remove the water from Malaysia, you bring the water from Singapore. Put the water from Singapore water, right? Okay, Singapore water, is that something indispensably required for this plant to grow? Without the Singapore water, the plant will not grow. Apple tree doesn't grow. Huh? Or Singaporeans? Okay. Singaporeans are not too happy to say no. Okay, yes. Okay. The Pavan is more sympathetic. Okay, so let's say it is not necessary. Whereas if the seed is not there, this apple seed is not there, this particular apple seed is not there, right? If you don't put, okay, let's first put it like this. If there's no apple seed there, then it will not grow to apple tree. That's for sure. You're getting it? Okay. In some cases, for example, okay, there's already some water, and then you put additional water, some extra water there. With extra water, without extra water, it will continue. It will grow, right? Because there's already the water. You add a little extra water. Did it serve as a cause? It did serve as a cause, but this is not the indispensable cause. With it, the plant grows. Without it, the plant doesn't grow. This is not the case. So, in this unique indispensable cause means a cause, the presence of which the result will arise, in the absence of which the result will not arise. A cause, unique, indispensable cause, is a cause, the presence of which gives rise to the result, in the absence of which will not give rise to the result. In other words, the cause which determines the rise or arising or not arising of the effect. Which means the causes, there are many causes, primary causes and the secondary causes. In other words, in simple terms, the unique, indispensable cause means the primary cause, the cause which determines the effect, which determines the arising or not arising of the effect. Okay, and say the primary cause, we can say the substantial cause, with the example of the plant, the seed is the substantial cause, and all other things like water, soil, sunlight, and so forth, they're all cooperative causes. So, substantial cause is always the unique, indispensable cause, substantial cause. But the cooperative cause, some of the cooperative causes are also unique, indispensable cause. Some of the cooperative causes. It is not that unique, indispensable primary cause means it should necessarily be the substantial cause. It's not necessary. Even some of the cooperative causes can be the unique, indispensable cause. Okay, I'll give you one example. Let's say, in a very remote village, where otherwise no possibility for education opportunity. And there are let's say there are two brothers, very young two brothers, age 5, 6, two brothers there. And the brother A is a little more intelligent. Brother B is less intelligent. And then the tourist comes. Tourists, many times it happens. Some tourists, very generous and wealthy tourist comes and meet with the brother B, not with the A, who is more intelligent. Not with the brother A, who is more intelligent, but with the B. And then he or she felt so compassionate to this boy, and then asked the parents that, okay, I will give the education opportunity to your the son B, if you allow. Then the parents are so happy. Then the child is taken to a very good place where education is given. Then the good universities, and eventually became a Nobel laureate. In what? Nobel laureate in physics. Right? Nobel laureate in physics. Okay, so tell me, this Nobel laureate, what is the substantial cause of this Nobel laureate? This young boy, what's the substantial cause of the Nobel laureate? Tell me, this young boy, Nobel laureate's mind, what is the substantial cause of the Nobel laureate's mind? The mind of the young boy. That young boy is the substantial cause. Say, for example, what is meant by substantial cause? For example, say, my hand, it picks up a dirt. We say a dirt picking hand, right? It known as a dirt picking hand. And then suddenly, okay, no, it should not happen. Then I release the dirt, and I start to pick up only the gold. It becomes a gold picking hand. Are these two the same hand or different hands? Same hand. Substantially, it's the same substance. Same substance. The label changes, and the hand is improvised. But the hand becomes the dirt. People do not like this hand. The moment I release the dirt and start picking up the gold, people like it. People like this gold picking hand. Right? Okay. So likewise, the young child's mind is the same mind. Then you give the education. Then this young child's mind started to learn more. Yes. So it's the same mind which is improving. Like the same hand becoming, becoming better. Likewise, it is the same. It's the same mind becoming better. Eventually, become the mind of the Nobel laureate. You agree with me? So the mind of the Nobel laureate, that Nobel laureate, what is the substantial cause of that mind? Mind of that young child's mind. What's the substantial cause? What are the corporate causes of this? The corporate causes of this Nobel laureate's mind, brilliant mind. What are the corporate causes? Education and the generosity of the wealthy person. Right? Generosity of the wealthy person. So generosity of the wealthy person does not become the Nobel laureate. Right? It simply becomes the cooperative cause. Cooperative cause to improve the mind of this young boy. So, but the generosity of this wealthy person, is that the primary cause to make him a Nobel laureate? Yes, no. If he did not come in contact with this generosity, he will become, even his elder brother, who is smarter than him, is just still a very ordinary person there. But he became a Nobel laureate in physics. Right? So which means that what makes the difference? Because of meeting with the generosity of somebody. So meeting with the generosity of somebody is not the substantial cause. You agree with me? What is that? It's a cooperative cause, yet it's a very primary cause for that child to become a Nobel laureate. You agree with me? So that the generosity of that the kind person is the unique, indispensable cause for that child to become the Nobel laureate. So what I mean to say is that for a cause to be a unique, indispensable cause, it is not necessary to be a substantial cause. Even a cooperative cause can be a unique, indispensable cause. Okay. Now, reference number 41. Rejecting the rejection of the body to be the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the mind. Okay, let's say, do you agree with me? You came from yesterday. You today. Today, what date is that? 8th of June, 19? 8th of June? The 19 means I'm from the past generation. Okay, the 8th of June 2019. Okay, 2019. And you, the 7th of June, okay, you, 8th of June 2019 is one day older than you, 7th of June 2019. You agree with me or not? You're older than, one day older. Okay. Which means you, your body, your mind of today, 8th of June 2019, is the result of the body of the mind of the 7th of June 2019. You agree with me or not? Okay. So this body of today came from the body of yesterday. Mind of today came from the mind of yesterday. Okay. So what is the substantial cause of this mind of yours today? Today's mind. Yesterday's mind. Very good. Today's mind, the substantial cause of today's mind is yesterday's mind. Okay. And they say, what is the cooperative cause of today's mind? Cooperative cause of today's mind, yesterday's body. If yesterday's body was sick, today your mind is so gloomy, I know, you will not come to the class. Right? Which means that yesterday's body affects today's mind. But that is not the substantial cause. So what causes that? That is cooperative cause. Okay. Now, today's body came from yesterday's body, yes? Right? Okay. So, what is the substantial cause of today's body? Yesterday's body. What is the cooperative cause of today's body? Yesterday's mind. You're getting it? How the yesterday's mind is the cooperative cause of today's body? One, it is a cause of today's body, but it is not the substantial cause. How it is not substantial cause? Because this mind doesn't become the body. This mind doesn't become the body. If the yesterday's mind is today's body's substantial cause, that mind should become the today's body. Does it become today's body? No. So therefore it is not a substantial cause, but it is a cause. How is it the cause? How is the cause? For example, if yesterday's mind, you have some kind of shock. Yesterday's mind, if you become so badly be shocked or whatever, it can easily have an effect on the body. Do you agree with me? In some cases, when there's so much of tension, then your stomach upset can happen. Do you agree with me? Ulcer can happen. So how the mind affects the body? This is very obvious. How many of you have that experience? The moment you are intense, intense, say the unhappiness or tension, then you could feel the body upset of the body. You can feel that. You know that? Okay, good. So yesterday's mind is the cooperative cause of the today's body. Yesterday's body is the substantial cause of the today's body. You get it? Okay. If you get this, then we turn to page 18, reference number 41. First, rejecting the body to be the unique, indispensable cooperative cause. Yes, the yesterday's body is the cooperative cause of this mind, today's mind, but it's not the unique, indispensable cooperative cause. You getting it? Because if that is unique, unique, indispensable cooperative cause, then that body will decide the presence or the absence of this mind. But that is not. It's just a secondary cause. It's not the primary cause. Stanza 49. Okay. The mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as does the sensory mind. Therefore, the body with the mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as does the sensory mind. Therefore, the body with the individual sense power is not the indispensable cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. Okay. So let's say that the 3 p.m. sharp. 3 p.m. sharp, you have your sense power. You have your I sense power, I sense consciousness, mental consciousness. At 3 sharp. And then you look at the flower. You look at the flower at 3 sharp. You look at the flower. So what has happened? The object is there. Then I sense power is there. Then the mental consciousness is also there. And then I consciousness also arises out of that. So the next moment. So this sense power serves as a cause for the I sense consciousness. And this sense power also serves as a cause for the mental consciousness. How? Then I turn away from the flower, then the memory sticks to my mind. This memory sticks to which mind? Sensory or mental? Mental. Okay. So which means that this, in order to have this memory, you should have seen this flower before. To see this flower, this I sense power is indispensably required. So which means that the I sense power did play a role for this mental consciousness to recall this flower. But this I sense power is not the unique, indispensable cooperative cause. Okay, this I sense power, is it the substantial cause of the mental consciousness? Next moment of the mental consciousness, say at 3 p.m. sharp, you look at the flower, oh, there's a flower there. I sense power was operating. I sense power is a physical body that is operating. And then you turn away and the memory comes into being. So the flower, I sense power, I sense consciousness, all these 3 serve as a cause for this mental consciousness to recall the flower to arise. So this I sense power, is that the cause of the mental consciousness which recalls the flower? Yes, it is a cause. Okay, if it is a cause, is it substantial cause or the cooperative cause? Substantial cause? Okay. Cooperative cause? Okay. So what's the third option? There's no third option, right? Okay, some say substantial. Okay, those who said it is not substantial, it is cooperative cause, why do you say that it is not substantial cause? The sense power, the first moment of the sense power, is the cause of the second moment of the mental consciousness. The remembering the flower is the cause. That sense power is the cause of the second moment of the mental consciousness, remembering the flower. But it is not the substantial cause. Why it is not the substantial cause? Or how it is not substantial cause? Anybody? Yes. To the mic, please.
Because sense power is physical and mental consciousness is mind.
Okay, the I sense power is the physical, and mental consciousness is mental. Okay. Okay, that's logician's answer. Okay, so it is like saying this first moment of the I consciousness, is it the substantial? Is it substantial cause? The second moment of the I consciousness? No. Why not? Because first moment of I consciousness exists in the first moment. Second moment of I consciousness exists in the second moment. Right? Okay. So this is more the logician's answer. Very shrewd logicians, right? Very precise logicians. Okay, I'm joking. So give me some answers. Okay, this one answer. Answer is correct. Answer is correct. But I'm looking for another answer. There can be many answers. My question is, first moment of the I sense power. Okay, what's the question? You should do the job.
Sense power, the substantial cause.
Mike.
Your answer was whether the sense power.
Not the answer, the question.
Whether the I sense power serve as the substantial cause for the mental consciousness.
Okay, is this question?
No, this is not.
Yes, this is the question, but we should modify it little, right? We should refine it a little bit. Okay, can anybody refine this question, which Moy said is correct question? Anybody? Yes. Okay. Here, Pavanila.
Is the first moment of the I sense power a substantial cause for the second moment of mental consciousness for remembering the flower?
Very good. Okay, thank you. This is my question. First moment of the I sense power, is it the substantial cause of the second moment of the mental consciousness remembering the flower? This is my question. Okay, any answer? Kim, you want to give the answer?
My view is that it's not, because
it is not substantial cause because
it's not it's not substantial cause. The substantial cause for the second moment of the mental consciousness should be, it's a bit like what Yen has said, should be a mental sense power and not physical. It's not this sense power.
Okay, so the Yen and the Kim both are the great logicians. Okay, here, Man.
I think a substantial cause must be of the same nature. So it's the I consciousness seeing the flower. That's the substantial cause for the mental consciousness recalling the flower.
The I sense power is not the substantial cause of the mental.
Yeah, but it's a cooperative cause.
So why not it is substantial cause?
Because it's not of the same nature.
These two don't share the same nature? In what way?
They are not awareness.
Okay, so one is physical, one is mental. Okay. Okay, good. Over there. Yes, you want to say? Yes, over there.
No, it's not a substantial cause because even if you shut off, you can still recollect.
Okay, that's interesting. Even if you shut off the sense power,
yes,
still the mental consciousness operates.
Correct.
Okay. Again, your name?
Thai.
Huh? Thai. Okay, Thai or Thai?
Thai.
Thai.
T-A-I.
Thai.
T-A-I. Yeah.
Okay, Thai. Let's say Thai, 10 years old Thai was he the substantial cause of today's Thai? Yes. Yes, of course he is. Don't say no. So that Thai was already shut down. That Thai was already shut down, but today's Thai is still surviving. So the reason should be applicable to all, right? Okay. Anybody else? Vision is. Finally, it is the end's answer, right? One is physical, one is mental. Okay, Vision, I hope you will give any answer.
Even if the first moment the I sense power was not there, in the second moment the mental consciousness will still be there.
This is what Thai said, right?
Is it?
Okay, even if the Vision, 10 years old Vision was not there, today's Vision is still there. So 10 years old Vision is not the substantial cause of today's Vision.
No, I mean even if in the first moment the I consciousness was not there,
Yes.
in the second moment the mental consciousness will still arise.
Say it again.
In the second moment the mental consciousness will still arise.
No, it's not about the mental consciousness, the I consciousness. It's not about the mental consciousness, the sense power. We are talking about the first moment of the sense power.
Seeing
Sense
flower.
power
Yep.
of the flower.
Yes.
With respect to the second moment of the mental consciousness, remembering the flower, not mental consciousness in general.
Okay.
Okay, anyone? Anyone? Okay, here, Wayne La. Okay, this Wen. There are two Wens there. Okay, Mike.
Of remembering.
Oh.
Remembering is a substantial cause. Recalling the memory.
Okay, yes, but my question is, the first moment of the sense power,
No,
is it the
it's
substantial cause?
It's cooperating cause.
Why it is not the...
Because
why,
if you don't remember, you don't go and remember, the second moment won't come out. The second moment of the conceptual mind.
the second moment
Recalling the flower.
even without the sense power, still you can have the
you still can
mental
remember.
consciousness, second moment mental consciousness, remember the flower?
Yes.
Are you sure? So this remembering the mental flower,
even if you have the first moment of sense power, I sense power. If at the second moment you don't go and recall, the second moment flower will come out.
okay. So this quite okay. Interesting answers. Anybody? Okay. Anybody? New hands? No, you will give the same answer. I know. Anybody? Okay. Yeah, Regina.
Because in order to remember a flower, you must cognize the flower first. So the cognizing is done by the mental consciousness.
Okay.
There's-
In order to remember the flower, you should cognize the flower first. Then.
Yeah. So the remembering is not from the information given by the I sense power. It's rather that the remembering is done by the mental consciousness that's cognizing the flower.
Okay. So in fact, there was once Albert Einstein. He submitted his thesis to be enrolled for the application to apply for PhD program, and the two professors were to check if he is eligible for PhD program. And the vice chancellor asked the two professors, "Is this boy eligible for PhD program?" The two professors, yes, no doubt, he's very bright. And the vice chancellor asked, "What did he write? What was his thesis?" Two of them said, "We did not understand anything." Because it's so sophisticated. We do not understand anything. Like what Regina said, it's very sophisticated. I do not understand anything. No doubt you're eligible for PhD. Okay. Anybody? Anyone? Okay, no more.
Okay. I disagree, with people who says that without the first moment of sense power, I sense power, the second moment of conceptual mind can recall the flower, because without having the I sense power to serve as the cooperative condition to remember the flower, to have an image of to recognize the flower, the conceptual consciousness will not be able to recall. Without the I consciousness, with the help of the eye sense power, to have cognized the flower at the first moment, it is impossible for the mental consciousness at the second moment to remember the flower.
Okay. This is similar to Regina's answer. Okay, I didn't answer anything. Okay. So the Bhavani understood it. Same answer, which means both eligible for PhD. Okay, one then I hear. Now I hope one then I give me something which I understand it. Okay, Mike.
I think not. Okay, I think not the first moment of eye consciousness, eye sense power. But I think the first moment of eye consciousness is the substantial cause of second moment of
mental consciousness.
Second moment of the
mental consciousness remembering the flower. Okay.
That's the consciousness.
So why the sense power? First moment of the eye sense power is not the substantial cause.
Not substantial.
Why?
Cause.
Why not?
Because you already collect, I guess.
Okay. So do you agree with me? All of you who give the answer, just see if your answer the tallies with what I'm saying, right? Tallies with what I'm saying. Regina, Moi, and Yen, and who else? Man, Vichang, Wayne, and then here Kim, that's it, and then over there, Thai, right? Okay, say, eye sense power, let's say, this eye sense power, okay, let's say, this eye sense power, this is eye sense consciousness, and this mental consciousness, you getting it? So, this first moment, second moment, again there's going to be eye sense power, eye sense consciousness, mental consciousness, 3. You're getting it like this. So this eye sense power, second moment, it becomes what? Which of the 3? Second moment of the eye sense power, not the second moment of the mental consciousness. You're getting it? So what becomes the second moment of the sense power? That is the substantial cause. You're getting it? So the second moment of the mental consciousness, what from the first moment becomes the second moment of the mental consciousness? First moment of the mental consciousness only becomes the second moment of the mental consciousness. So therefore, only the first moment of the mental consciousness is the substantial cause of the second moment of the mental consciousness. And the first moment of the eye sense power becomes the second moment of the eye sense power. You're getting it? So others, they are the cooperative cause. What becomes, that is the substantial. You're getting it? Okay. Now the reading 49. Mental continuum mind should apprehend forms as does the sensory mind. Okay. So what we are saying is that this eye sense power, for the eye sense consciousness, eye sense power plays a very important role for the eye sense consciousness. But for the mental consciousness, it is not that important role, eye sense power. For the eye sense consciousness, the clarity, seeing things very clear, is coming because of the eye sense power. You're getting it? Okay, okay, look at this flower. Look at this flower with the eyes. Now close your eyes and think of the flower. Okay, eye consciousness seeing the flower appears more clearly to the eye sense consciousness seeing the flower, or when you are thinking with your eyes closed, think of the flower. To which of the two minds the flower appears clearer? Eye sense consciousness, not to the mental consciousness. Okay, so if the eye sense power is the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness, just as it makes the eye sense consciousness very clear, mental consciousness also should be seeing the flower very clearly. The fact that this is not happening means that this is not, the eye sense power is not the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. Mental consciousness is just the vague recollection. It's the vague. It is not clear as how the flower appears to your eye sense consciousness. You're getting it? Okay, so now if you read 49, the mental continuum of the mind, so we have three continuums. One is the eye sense power, continuum of the eye sense power, moment A, moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the eye sense consciousness. As long as you keep your eyes open, eye consciousness, moment 1, 2, 3, 4, there is one stream. Then the mental consciousness, moment 1, 2, 3. There are three streams. There can be more streams also. 3 plus the ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, right? So if you keep just of the 5 senses, if you think of the eye consciousness, eye sense power, and the mental consciousness. Mental consciousness always one at a time. No 2 streams are there. Mental consciousness always one. But the sense consciousnesses, the 5 of them can be simultaneous. Eye sense consciousness, ear sense consciousness, nose, tongue, body. But the mental consciousness is always one at a time. Mental consciousness, the stream is always one. So with this, the mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as clear as the sensory mind. As does the sensory mind. As does meaning as clear as the sensory mind, if the sense power is the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. Okay, so this you have to add. Add meaning your own additional annotation. The mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as clear as the sensory mind if the eye sense power is the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. You can add this. Let me say this again. Okay. The mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as clear as the sensory mind if this eye sense power is the unique indispensable cause. You can write UIC, unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. The mental continuum of the mind should apprehend forms as clear as the sensory mind if the eye sense power is the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. So what we learn from this is that eye sense power, which is physical, it is not the unique indispensable cause of the mental consciousness. This is what we learn. Okay. The next line. Therefore, the body with the individual sense power is not the indispensable cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. So the body in the form of sense powers, body. Okay, listen. Therefore, the body with the individual sense power, say the body, let's say the brain. The brain, and the brain, now the neuroscientists will say the brain is operating. Yes, brain is the body. It operates to see the flower through the eye sense power. So the body with the individual sense powers, like the eye sense power, nose sense power, and so forth, is not the indispensable cooperative cause. It is a cooperative cause, but it's not the unique indispensable cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. So individually, they are not. Now, collectively meaning that when you are listening to me, you're also looking at the book. You're also having the visual side. Ear consciousness is active. Your eye consciousness is active. Your ear consciousness is active. And then what? If there's the smell of the incense, the nose consciousness is active. And then the touch. You're writing something or you're feeling, right? The body sense consciousness is also active. Then the tongue, I'm not too sure. Okay, let's say you're eating a chocolate or a sweet. Then the tongue, all these 5 sensory consciousnesses are active while the mental consciousness. So even though all these 5 sensory consciousnesses, all the sense powers, the brain with all the 5 sense powers, they're active collectively. Active, still they cannot serve as the unique indispensable cause for the mental consciousness. You're getting it? Because these 5, they have nothing to do with each other. Did you get? This is very important concept. These 5 are totally independent. For example, let's say Okay, let's say some people, they don't have no sense power. You do you know that? Some people, they don't have no sense power. Okay, they cannot smell anything. Do you know that? Okay, so there, even if there's a perfume, best of the perfume, even if there's a best of perfume and best of the delicacies, the person, somebody with the eyesight, tongue and the nose all intact, you can relish all three. Object-wise, all three are there. But if you don't have this no sense, you cannot enjoy the smell. If you don't have the tongue, the tongue sense power, you cannot enjoy the taste. Right? Although object, all three are there. The taste, the smell, and the what? The taste. Oh, and so the visual. The visual is there, the taste is there, then the what? The smell is there. Although all three are there, but if you don't have the no sense power, you cannot relish these are all three just so independent sense powers, nothing to do with each other. They don't know each other, right? So therefore, they're together or independent, there's no difference. So individually, they are not the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. Collectively also, they are not the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the consciousness, mental consciousness. Okay. Now, okay, up to this point is, if you are a little not too clear, don't worry. This point will give you a little easier. Stanza 15. Being devoid of mind, the mind does not arise from other bodies. Okay, the body and the mind coexist due to the previous karma as the common. Okay, stanza 15, the first line. The first line is Acharya Dharmakirti's rejection of the opponents, saying that if it is purely through the body that the mental consciousness, the mind arises. So from their point of view, what is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind? From the point of view of those who reject, who do not accept the rebirth. Well, yes. What is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind? The body. You're getting it? Now, Acharya Dharmakirti is saying is that when the person dies, there's a body there. There's a body there. Why the next moment of the mind is not coming? The body is there, unique, indispensable cause as the body. The body is the unique, indispensable cause is there. So why the mind is not coming now? Body has died, but it's a body, right? Dead body is a body. What is required? Okay, that's interesting. So, the body being devoid of mind. Okay, no, sorry. Being devoid of mind. That body without the mind does not arise. Okay, what is that? Being devoid of mind. Okay, being devoid of mind. That dead body, which is devoid of mind. So from there, the mind does not arise. That next moment of the mind does not arise because it's a dead person. Okay, the mind does not arise from other bodies, meaning that this person dies with, particularly if you are discussing with somebody who does not accept rebirth, right? So for that person is now dead. So where's the next mind? You don't see the mind there. Now according to those advocates who reject rebirth, there's a body there. So the mind should be there. Okay. So why not the mind is arising, the body is there? This is the question. Then what they say is, the next line is their position. The body and the mind, okay, not their position. Then they come so the classical Indian texts, they are so condensed. Many of the points, they are implicitly mentioned. Now what they say is that, okay, that's fine. The body and the mind, the body is there, but the mind is not there. That's fine. What about when the person is alive? The body is there and the mind is there. The body and mind, they coexist. Right? So they say with the body, then the mind can exist. With the body, the mind can exist. They can coexist. So what is that factor for the mind to stay so alive as a human mind? It's because of the body. Coexist. So how come that this coexistence happen? It's because of the body. Because of the body. Okay. Do you agree with me or not? When you are alive, your mind and your body coexist? Okay. So this coexistence is because of what? Because of the body. If your body is not there, then your mind is not a human mind. If your body is a human body is not there, then your mind as a human mind is not there. So the fact that these two coexist and the mind to be the human mind, this because it is purely because of this body, human body. Right? Okay. So this Acharya Dharmakirti responds by saying, body and the mind coexist due to the previous karma and not because of this body. Body and the mind, they coexist because of the previous karma, which projects the body and mind to be together. Okay, if you could remember, some of you have studied the 12 links of dependent origination. What is link number 4? Of the 12 links, link number 4. Name and form. What is name? What is form? Form is the body. The name is the mind. Okay, so this is depicted by what? This is depicted by what picture? Picture of a two-person in a boat. Two-person in a boat. As long as the two persons are in the boat, in the same boat, they should not fight. Right? So whether they like it or not, they have to go together till they cross the ocean or till they cross the river. Likewise, we have the body and the mind. These two are put together by the previous karma in the same boat. So they have to go till you die. Body and the mind, whether you like it or not, these two have to go together till you die. So this is body and mind. How they coexist is because of the force of the previous karma, not because of this body. Okay. The body and the mind coexist due to the previous karma as the common cause. It is like the 5 senses and the form. Okay, it's like the 5 senses. We have all the 5 senses together intact. These 5 senses is not because that the ear sense consciousness is responsible for the eye sense consciousness. Not that eye sense consciousness, eye sense power responsible for the ear sense power. So they all coexist because of the common factor, the previous karma. Likewise, for example, for the chocolate taste and the chocolate texture. These two are very different, but they coexist. They coexist. Okay. It is like the 5 senses and the form and the taste of sugar coexisting. The mind assumes changes through having them as objects of perception. Okay, now this is a extremely important debate. This is a very strong debate from the advocates of those who reject rebirth. What they say is that body is the unique indispensable cause of the mind. How many agree with this? Body or the brain is the unique indispensable cause of the mind, mental consciousness. How many agree with this? How many don't agree with this? How many agree with this? Okay. Okay, this life, yes, this life. Okay, this life, yes. Okay. So now, this debate coming is a very strong debate, right? Okay, those of who they said that, no, I don't agree, right? I don't agree. You have to give the answer. The debate was that what this is, the brain is the unique indispensable cause of the mind, meaning the mental consciousness. Because when there's a damage happening to the brain, operation of the mind is affected so badly, right? When the damage happens to the mind, the brain, the mind, language skill is the function of the mind, right? I know the language, I know English, I know Mandarin, I know French, I know Spanish, whatever. So so that is affected. When the brain damage happens, you lose the language. Interestingly, I think it's about now is about like 12 or 13 years ago. I met one Indian gentleman who was a CEO of one company. Very decent gentleman. And then we started to talk to each other, and he said that now I'm learning English. I said, okay, fine, what's wrong with learning English? He said that I was the CEO of one company, and then I had to resign because I had a stroke. With a stroke, damage to the brain, he lost the English. He had very fluent English, he lost English. Because of damage to the brain, he lost English language. So then at that point, he could speak English a little bit. So he said that now I'm trying to pick up the English. I forgot the English already because of damage to the brain. Right? And then there was one experiment also done. Experiment done where there was a kind of a rat. There are two kinds of rat. One rat who is so being kind to the children, and the one rat so negligent of the children. There are two kinds of rat. And they check the brain, and I don't know what kind of the solution there. So with one rat, there's the mother who is very loving to the children. In the brain, they saw one chemical more than the other rat. So they took out that chemical and injected to the other rat. Other rat became so loving to the children, and then this mother lost the interest in the children. But this is experiment done. Okay, because the change in the brain, you see how it affects your emotional reaction, the emotional reaction. Right? Okay, many of you will not agree with this, but this is a fact. Right? Okay, so the point is that if a damage happens to the brain, to the body, it can affect your emotional world, if it can affect the mental world. So, the body is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind. This is what they are saying. This is the debate. Okay, now, how many of you will say, okay, if this is the case, then I agree? Raise your hands. How many of you say that, no, I don't agree with this still? Raise your hands. Okay, these are the staunch people. Now give me the reason why. Yes, Vijan.
Correlation doesn't prove causation. So the body can affect the mind, but it doesn't mean that the body is the
unique, indispensable cause
of the mind.
This is meaning, right? Say, when the body is intact, the mind is intact. When the body is affected, the mind is affected. This is the meaning of the unique, indispensable cause.
But the mind is still there.
Huh?
The mind is still there.
Mind is there, mind is affected so badly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mind can also affect the body?
Yes.
But the body is still there.
Yes. So does that mean that the mind is a unique, indispensable cause?
Which means that, in which case, what you're saying is that the body is not the unique, indispensable cause of the mind.
Yes.
Likewise, they can also say the same thing. Mind is also not the unique, indispensable cause of the body, because even if the effect on the brain, the mind happens, the effect on the body happens, but the body is still there. Okay, what happens? Yes. Moila is one of the captains of the Acharya Dharmakirti. Yes, one of the captains.
Okay. Sorry, if first we confine to this lifetime, okay? So for the mental consciousness of this lifetime, I believe that the brain is maybe something to do with the brain will be the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause for the mental consciousness. However, it doesn't follow that the brain is the substantial cause of the mental consciousness.
Okay, so Moila accepts that the brain is the unique, indispensable cause, unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. It is not the substantial cause of mental consciousness. So you admit that the brain is the unique, indispensable, cooperative cause of the mental consciousness. Finish then. The captain is defeated, all the soldiers defeated. Okay, anyone? Okay, so how many of you agree with this debate? That, yes, that's true. How many agree with this? How many don't agree with this? Okay, you want to refine it.
And if we can talk about the gross mind and the subtle mind.
Yes.
So maybe the body is the unique, indispensable cooperative cause of the gross mind, but not of the subtle mind.
Say it again.
The body is the brain is the UIC of the gross mind.
Okay, the brain is the UIC of the
gross mind.
Gross mind, and not
of the subtle mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
so which means that the gross mind is not coming from the previous mind; it's coming from the brain. When the brain dies, gross mind disappears. Because the brain is unique UIC of the UIC or UCI. No, that's fine, but it's the unique indispensable cause. UIC, right? Okay, finished then. 2 captains lost. Okay, so this is so. Let us see what Acharya Dharmakirti has to say. 51. Okay, no, not 51. 50. Let us read from 50 once more. Being devoid of mind, the mind does not arise from other bodies. Then the opponents say that the body and mind, they are together. So the body is holding the mind. Acharya Dharmakirti says, no, the body and mind coexist, not because of the body, it's due to the previous karma as the common cause. It is like the 5 senses and the form and taste of sugar coexisting. Finish. The next part, this one. When damage happens to the brain, it badly affects the mental consciousness. So the mind assumes changes through having them as objects of perception. Okay, this is it. And this is the answer given, Acharya Dharmakirti. It is stanza 50, the second last line of stanza 15. The mind assumes changes through having them as objects of perception. What is this answer? Okay, before we go through this, let me share with you one account. I remember when I was very young, maybe I was like 10 years old or 9 years old, in TCV school, in Dharamsala school. We are in the foster home, home number 9. And next to us, there was another foster home, home number 15. I still remember this so vividly when I was like age 8, 9, 10. And both these homes, there are like about 29 homes, foster homes. And of the 21 foster homes, there were 7 the foster homes, particularly for the small children. So my home and the other home, there are many others. These 2 are 2 of the 7 homes which only have the small children below age 9 or 10. So all the works, household chores were to be done by the small children. Small children, of course, with the assistance of the foster mother. And there in the other home 15, there was one girl. I don't know age-wise, she may be 1 year older or younger than me, I don't know. But she was so competent. This very young girl, aged like 8, 9, taking the whole responsibility of the whole foster home. Like 29 children. She has that amount of the charisma, sense of responsibility, and command. All the children, they listen to her like the way they listen to the foster mother. She's very young. And then at one point what happened was that she suffered from some illness, and she was hospitalized. Then it was actually brain damage. Then she passed away. So the brain damage, and later on, I did not see, of course we were all very young, it has nothing to do with us, these 2 separate homes. So we got the information that now this girl is in such a state where she is like age 3 or 4. Earlier, who was taking whole responsibility of the foster home, the 29 children, washing clothes, cooking food, and so forth. Now she's like very small children. You talk about chocolate, she's very happy. She became like this. I was so intrigued. what? Somebody with such a charisma, sense of the command over the work, the work, and then the taking the responsibility and so forth. Now this person has become like a very young infant, and people would talk to her like a small child when she was in her last days with the brain damage. And then myself, very young boy, age 8 or 9, I had no clue what was really happening. And then after this Acharya Dharmakirti text, reading this, then it's exactly when say you consume some poisons, it affects your brain, and then your whole thinking gets distorted and become chaotic, haywired. So mind is affected by the brain. So the brain is the unique, indispensable cause of the mind. Acharya Dharmakirti says, this can happen. Brain and the mind, these two are very closely related, and how this mind becomes distorted, disrupted because of the brain, because of this damage to the brain, it's not because that the mind, mental consciousness per se is affected. Mental consciousness is what? Is a mind, is a subject. Subject should have the object. You're getting it? Subject should have the object. So, perception of the object changes. Perception of the object changes. Perception of object. So, my hand remains the same. My hand always picks up dirt, and then suddenly change to always pick up the, say, chocolates. Hand remains the same, but the object changes. The mental consciousness earlier, okay, seeing this person, that person, this beautiful temple, the flower, okay, this is what we call as normal mental consciousness. Suddenly, because of the change in the brain, that affects this mind, the same mind, there's no change in the mental consciousness. The mental consciousness, the object it picks up, object provided by the senses. Provided by the senses, they are being disrupted because of the damage to the brain. And this information was passed to mental consciousness, and mental consciousness got the different objects, not the objects which the ordinary people can see, other people can see, or other people can experience. So therefore the mind behaves very differently, because it is seeing the objects which the ordinary people, which other people not seeing. So this is how the mind behaves very differently. This hand, you understand this example? My hand, which always picks up the dirt all the time. You look at my hand, you don't feel like touching it. And then later on, my hand starts picking up only the chocolates. You just feel like touching my hand. Right? It's the same hand. There's no change in the subject, only the change in the object. Likewise, mental consciousness, it remains the same. The way Wichang said, the mental consciousness, it remains the same. What changes is the perception of the object. Perception, the object of the perception of this mental consciousness, that changes. Why the perception changes? Because the information given to the mental consciousness is done by the sense consciousnesses. Sense consciousnesses, they are disrupted. For example, say when somebody drinks alcohol a lot, and then you see two roads, right? Hey, maybe some of you have that experience, I don't know. Right? Then you look at the person, you see, okay, one time that's very funny. There was one person who I know so well. I know him so well. And then what happened? I should be going to see him. Then I phoned him that I want to see you. Then he said, okay. So I went to see him. Then I didn't know the address. So he told me, come to this place. So this person drinks sometimes. And then, usually when he's sound, he's amazing, wonderful person. And I had no clue that sometimes he, drinks. I had no clue. Then I went there. Still, I'm yet to reach to his place. So I reached to the place, and then the driver said, now this is a place where he should be waiting. Then I was looking for him. Then I saw him. And then I was about to come out, and he came towards me. And I said, the good afternoon with his name. Good afternoon, Mr. A. All right? Good afternoon, Mr. A. And he said, good afternoon. He looked at me, are you Geshe Dorji Damdul? I was shocked. We are very good friends, right? He could not see me very clearly. Right? Okay, so there is disruption happening to his perception. Because of the alcohol, it affects the vision. Right? So because that is affected, this wrong information is passed to the mental consciousness. So the mental consciousness is asking, are you Geshe Dorji Damdul? Right? Okay, this is how it happens. It's amazing. Right? Okay. So it says the mind assumes changes. With the change which the damage to the brain, the change to the mental consciousness happen, not because that the mental consciousness becomes smaller or bigger or less or nothing. It remains the same. But the only thing is the perception. Perception, the object of the perception changes. And that gives us the impression that, oh, now this person, okay, for example, somebody knows so much. Somebody knows so much. When you meet that person, you get a sense that very confident. When somebody does not know much, which means perception is so less. Person so less, okay, I don't know anything. Then that determines a person's behavior. When somebody knows so much, very confident, ultimate confidence comes into being because of the perception, rich perception, right? When the perception changes, then the behavior also changes, right? So the mind remains the same. The mind, when it sees objectively existent phenomena, then we behave in a very different way. When it sees, with same mind, sees the emptiness of objective existence, mind becomes calm, peaceful. You're getting it? Mind is the same. So how the perception affects what we call as now he's crazy, he's fine, now he's normal, whatever is all described on the basis of the perception. Perception is the mind perceives things objectively real. Then what happens? Then all these fear, anxiety, all these things happen. When the perception is empty of objective existence, mind becomes calm. Physiologically, you could feel it. The mind becomes mind becomes so calm, peaceful, early agitation dissolves instantly. So with the change of perception, then the mind behaves very differently. So this is just a different behavior because of the different perception created because of the damage to the brain. Okay, we'll stop here.